So column annotation. You already know what column annotation do. Let's go and make a project for column annotation. Let's say column, column, column. Close everything and open the column. We have customer class, and in customer class we have multiple properties in which CID is primary key. Why CID is primary key? Because we are using ID annotation. And then we have version mapping in which we have timestamp mapping. So what column annotation basically do? Where we are using column annotation? We are using column annotation right above every field or every properties, right above every field, every properties. Why we are using column annotation? Suppose if we are not going to write this column annotation on the name, then what Hibernate is going to do? Hibernate is going to generate the corresponding column for this field with this name, which is already name. But if we are going to write column annotation, then what Hibernate is going to do? Hibernate is going to generate corresponding column with this name, which is provided in this column annotation. Suppose my name. So the corresponding column which is going to get generated, like here name, is going to be of name, my name. So the name of the column is going to be my name. But when we are not going to provide this column annotation, then Hibernate is going to get the corresponding column with the field name. So here field name is already name. So here column name is going to be name, N-A-M-E. Is that all what this column annotation do? No, this is not all what column annotation is meant for. So what are the other things that column annotations serves or provides? Suppose we have database, and when we used to create our table in database, then we used to provide multiple constraints on each column, Let me show you with example right here. Suppose we are creating our table inside any database, then we are writing this query to create table. Create table customer, in which columns are going to be, suppose CID, which is going to be of type int. Another column is going to be name, which is going to be of type char. And in name we can only save names of length 5. If we are exceeding the length 5 when we are inserting the data in the customer table in this column name, then it is going to give error. So only we can save the name which is up to a 5 length. Next, what we can say, phone is going to be of type also suppose int. And then we have city is going to be of type char. Suppose these are the fields that we want to create. These are the columns that we want to create in our table in database. Create table customer. We are creating customer table and we are creating these columns: CID, name, phone, city. But in here we have option to provide length for the name. So anyone, when inserting the values, he cannot exceed the name which is more than 5 letters, 5 alphabet. Suppose phone number right here, then we have constraint that we can write. We have constant that we can write here after int that not null. So this column phone cannot be left as null. When we are inserting data in this customer table, then we must have to provide value for phone column. If you are going to leave it and not going to provide, then it is not, no value is going to be inserted. It will give error. You must have to provide value. You can't leave it empty, null. It can't be not null. Int can't be null. Suppose in city, so every customer city have to be unique. So we have unique constraint. When we are creating table by ourselves, what we are doing, we are creating table. We have mentioned this 5, which is representing that the names which have only 5 letters, 5 alphabets is going to be inserted. If we, at the time of insertion in database, if we are inserting name which is more than 5 alphabets, then it's not going to accept. It will give error. In phone column, what we are mentioning, not null, which means that we can't leave phone column null. Whenever we are inserting data in customer table, then we must have to provide values for phone. We must have to provide value for that particular customer. He cannot leave the column phone as null, as empty. So this can't be null. User must have to provide values. In city, what we are doing, in city column, we are saying it's unique. So for city column, it must have to be unique. Means every customer must have to belong to different city. Every customer must have to belong from different city. This city column can't be null. Suppose this is Delhi, then also student 3, customer 3 can't be from Delhi. He have to be from some other cities. Or you can provide unique column, unique constant on maybe email. Suppose it's not city. It is not city. It is not city. It is email. So now what it means? It means that every customer is going to have unique email. For email column, we have used unique constant, which means every customer is going to have unique email. No customer can have duplicate email. One email here, suppose D is email. So one email cannot belongs to 2 customer. One email always belong to only one customer. Two customers cannot have same emails. So these are the constraints that are available inside the database when we are working directly with database. Suppose we are creating table right here, we are not going with Hibernate, then these are the things that we can apply on our table, on our table columns, like size of the insertion value, not null constant, unique. These are the, you can say, guidelines that we must have to follow whenever we are inserting data. But these options are not available in case of Hibernate when we are creating our column using Hibernate. So Hibernate is going to create column for this, Hibernate is going to create column for this, Hibernate is going to create column for this. But for phone column, if we want to provide this type of constraint that phone cannot be null, every customer must have to provide phone number. Then how we are going to do that in case of Hibernate? If customer is not going to provide phone number right here, if from the at the time of creating object, if we are not going to provide phone number right here, then it is going to be null. It is going to be null right here. It is going to be null. But we don't want null. What we want, that phone number cannot be null. User must have to provide the phone number. Exactly like that. We want email to be unique. We want email, this, you can see email have to be unique. For every customer, there is going to be a unique email. One email cannot belong to two customers. So how we are going to do these kind of things when Hibernate is creating column? So for that, this column annotation is important. Column annotation is not only meant for creating the name for corresponding column. The default, the custom name for corresponding column. In this column annotation, we are going to provide these kind of constraints, these constraints. So how to do that? Let me show you. So we are in customer, we are in our project at column. So in column, suppose we want to define length, that name must not exceed 5 characters. What we are going to do? Right here, give comma and write length, length, and in length just say 5. So every customer that we are going to insert right here must have to be length of his name 5. If someone is exceeding, like Ritesh is exceeding, then what will happen? It will give error. So this is the one constant basically. Another thing that we want, suppose on name, it is the phone. Let's provide this length on name. Also you can, what do is you can also provide length on phone, that phone must don't have to be less than 10 digit. You are getting my point? Phone column, when we are inserting values in here in phone column, that values must have to be 10 digit, not less. So this is the constant business logic, you can say this is the guideline. But right here, let's provide another constant. What we can write here is nullable, that phone cannot be nullable. So you have to write here false. Phone column, we cannot leave phone column. We cannot leave phone column at the time of inserting data. as null, like this. We cannot leave this as null. We have to provide values. What else we have? Constant, nullable, unique constant, that every email should be unique. So let's say for unique we have unique. In unique also write true. So email must have to be unique. So it is true. Phone must don't have nullable. So it false. Can phone be nullable? False. No, phone cannot be leave null. If we are going to make it true, which means can phone be nullable? Yes, true. But it is false. Phone cannot be nullable. Unique? Yes, true. It have to be unique. We have some more constant. For that, let's create some more fields. Like suppose this field is city. City. What is more constant? Like insertable. Insertable. Make it false. Another field we want to make is suppose account number. Account number. So in this account number we are going to make it updatable constant. False. What is happening right here? So you got the length, you got the nullable. Phone cannot be nullable, so it is false. Email must have to be unique for every customer, so it is true. Insertable, it is false, which means city cannot be inserted in our table. What this means? Insertable, when we are assigning insertable false, which means for this column we cannot insert the values. Updatable, we are making updatable false, which means account number, once we are going to insert value in the account column, suppose there is an account column, once we inserted values in this account column, then it cannot be updated. Updatable is false. If we are going to use setter method, then we cannot update the fields inside this column, which is accounts. On accounts column, we have provided the constant updatable, which is false. So for on accounts column, this is accounts column. Suppose once we inserted value inside this, then we cannot update those values. So this is what it is saying. So with all these fields, let's make a constant constructor. Let's make a constructor and just leave the SID, and here you go. Let's create constructor in which we have to provide all the fields. For name, we are providing suppose Raj. For phone, we are providing 99, 90. For email, we are providing Raj at Gmail. For city, we are providing Delhi. For account number is of type string 88, and date version is going to be inserted by automatically. Let's delete the version because it is going to updated through the Hibernate. So we are using session.save. First, let's delete these tables. So now there is no table inside that database. Everything is going to work fine because we are not breaking any rules. The rules, the constraints that we applied right here on every column, we are not breaking any rules. Suppose name have to be of length 5, so it is under 5, it is not exceeding that. Like nullable, phone must have to be provided, so we are providing phone, we didn't left that. It must have to be unique, so there is only one record right now. Insertable, it is false, city is false. Let's see, is that value is going to be get inserted for city or not. Account number updatable, we are going to update and see is that getting updated or not. So what we have to see right here, for city, it is not insertable. We cannot insert value inside the city column. So it is giving duplicate entry for raj@gmail. So let's see, is that there any tables? So here table is available. Let's do one thing. Let's delete this tables first. I'm dropping the whole database, creating database again. So there is no table right now. Then let's run this again. So things got inserted. You can see here everything got inserted, but city is null. Why that happened? Because at city column we said it is not insertable, we made it false. Let's insert the same value again and let's see, is that email is getting inserted, because it is set as unique value, which means every customer must have unique email. It cannot be duplicate. So let's run this same code again. It will give error because same email is not allowed. Email must be unique. You can see here duplicate entry email, duplicate entry email. So let's change the email. Let's say email is Raj1. If we are going to run this, then our data is going to get inserted. Now it is working fine. Data got inserted. Again, city is not inserted because it is not insertable. Email, we changed the email, that's why it got inserted. Let's exceed the length of name. Suppose Raj Kumar. It is not, and let's also change the email because it is also not allowed. Suppose 2. It is going to give error. It is going to say that we are exceeding the length. Data too long for column my name. Data is too long for column my name. Why? Because we have set it the rule which is 5. It cannot be more than 5. So let it be only Kumar. What else we have to see? In nullable, nothing is getting stored. It have to be unique. It have to be length 5. Insertable, we have seen insertable. Updatable, let's update something. So account is not updatable. Let's update. For we are loading customer 2. We are loading customer. So we don't have customer 2, we have customer 3. So we are loading customer 3 and we are trying to update his account number. So it is starting with BKID. We want to update account number. So cust.set account. It is not going to come right now because we don't have getter and setter for accounts. Let's create getter and setter for accounts. We are trying to set accounts. Let's see what is going to happen. Suppose SBI 8. So at customer 3, we are trying to update his account, but the account column is set as false. Updatable is false. It is not true. Let's run this. It is going to give error. It is not giving error, but you can see also update statement is not being issued by Hibernate. Update statement is not being issued by Hibernate. So still the third customer have the same bank account. It's not got updated. So this is what column annotation do. We can assign multiple constraint or rules by using column annotation. So we also have seen the column annotation. In next video, we are going to cover embeddable annotation and embedded annotation. These two are interlinked. We have to use both of these annotations whenever we are working with embeddable or either embedded. So stay tuned for next video.